In the 2015 film Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa, played by Charlize Theron, has the goal of rescuing her sisters from Immortan Joe, a tyrannical ruler of a desert hellscape.
Where is she taking them?
She didn't take them, they begged her to go!
Where is she taking them?
A long way from you.
A king is a primal symbol in all humans. The image of a king as an archetype is used throughout the world across different cultures and time. A king is a natural sovereign and the pinnacle of masculine authority. A true king demonstrates sympathy, wisdom, and bravery. Channeling his energy, a king can naturally drive humans to accomplish amazing feats. A king is also the example of a father figure. And make no mistake, a father is a king within his own home. And that is why we tell our children stories about true and wise kings, both in fantasy and in reality, in the hopes that they may one day rule their own houses in such a magnanimous way. However, if a king is immature, uncentered, reckless, narcissistic, this leads to the Shadow King. As great as all humans can be, all people cast shadows. A shadow consists of two poles, an active one, known as the Tyrant, and a passive one, known as the Weakling. A tyrant is known the world over. Just as the symbol of a king is primal in all people, so too is the tyrant. A tyrant demands subjugation, instead of earning it through leadership.
I am your Redeemer! It is by my hand you will rise from the ashes of this world!
The tyrant is known to throw himself into fits of rage when things do not go favorably for him. A tyrant is obsessed not with ruling his domain, but by maintaining his own dominance. The tyrant father will declare war on his own sons as he sees their youth as a potential rival to himself. A tyrant fears the rise of the leaders that will one day usurp his power.
I had a baby brother! I had a little baby brother!
A mature king would take ownership of his domain and view it as an extension of himself. The success of the land and the people under his command would serve as examples for his worthy rule and authority. A symbol of a king's power can be seen in the fertility of his domain. We see here, in our one villainous scene, the tyrant king rules over a barren world where he keeps plentiful resources from his subjects in order to maintain his dominance and control of them.
Do not, my friends, become addicted to water! It will take hold of you, and you will resent its absence.
The tyrant is allowed to rule over his subjects for the same reason that we follow just and right kings. Humans naturally seek shelter from a chaotic world, and it is in the absence of safe shelter that humans will seek temporary comforts of imperfect shelter and leadership. But the tyrant is not a natural leader. In fact, the tyrant only exists to protect the weakling who hides behind the tyrant's false front. We see this as Immortan Joe hides his deformed and boil-ridden body behind armor and hides his weak face behind a threatening mask. Throughout most of the film, Furiosa is obsessed with running from the tyrant and his armies to protect her sisters from his abuse. In doing this, Furiosa displays the very heroism that the villain king lacks in himself, and he seeks out to destroy her and take back what is his. It is the tyrant's cruelty that creates his own demise. As Robert Greene puts it in his book, The 33 Strategies of War, as the opposite poles of a magnet create motion, your enemies, your opposite, can fill you with purpose and direction. As people who stand in your way, who represent what you loathe, people to react against, they are the source of your energy. There comes a moment when Furiosa realizes that she cannot run forever, and her only choice is to turn around and face her enemy.
We go back?
Back?
Yeah.
Defeat him in battle and rule over his kingdom.
They're going back to the Citadel! They know it's undefended!
In her escape, Furiosa drew out her enemy, away from his stronghold. The further she ran, the weaker the Tyrant King became.
30,000 units of gasoline, 19 canisters of nitro, 12 assault bikes, 7 pursuit vehicles, magnificent mounts, and now, sir, you...
And when he was at his weakest, she was able to defeat him.
Remember me?
In Fury Road, it was the villain at the center of the story that made the heroine. His tyrannical reign drove her away, but also made her realize her destiny was to dethrone the false king and take her rightful place. What greater utility is there for a villain in a story than to create and unite heroes? This has been a production of Minimum Effort Media. I post new video essays on the first Friday of every month. If you enjoyed this video, it is a combination of several others I have on the channel. You can follow me at The Lazy Stoic across all social media. Thank you for watching.